Well, you're working in a industry where I guess there's fewer intellectuals. Does religion ever come up?
Very, very often. A lot of Jesus graffiti all over the area I work, and really, it's like, I mean, the way they talk about atheists, it's like very, very negative, very kick them out of the country, and I mean, and now they kind of know how I feel. I mean, but I usually just say I'm non-religious to kind of avoid.
Oh, the word atheist is pejorative,
yes,
and it scares people. My feeling is I will use it as often as I have opportunity because I want to desensitize the word. Yes. And if it's used enough, it'll just become another word.
Well, I mean, I guess outside of work I do use it, but I mean, really, it's like just at work. It's a confined area, and
younger people, and particularly people who are still working for a living or have businesses, it can be detrimental to let it be known that you're non-religious, and I understand and appreciate that. But even those folks in other settings might find it more comfortable to let people know who you are. Well, all right, but you did say you were also an artist. What sort of art are we talking about?
Almost like folk art, very simple.
I see. And when you do oil paintings or what?
No, it's generally Sharpie on canvas.
I see. And is this a hobby, or do you actually sell art?
I sell it. Been in a few galleries and a couple shops on Decatur Street.
I see. So you can have a you have a variety of things in your life.
Yes.
Well, all right. Since we're talking about art, and our next guest here is Marshall Harris, who is a muralist and an event planner and an actor.
Yeah.
All right, Marshall, tell us about your life.
That's me. Well, I came today just to let people know that, like you said, the Secular Humanist group is full of an eclectic group of people. I'm an artist, model, actor. I paint murals, large-scale murals on buildings and bridges all over New Orleans.
And on the screen, are we seeing one of your murals?
Yeah, this is one of my pieces. I used to teach at the prison art program with Sheriff Fody back in the day, and that's kind of how I trained reproducing masterworks 30 feet tall, right there on the I-10. Some people may remember that program. But then I started my own work and did things in businesses and homes, things like that. But lately, I've been doing stage work. Did some things at Le Petit, in Kenner, all over town there, getting to know some of the theater folk here in New Orleans.
Now, what is that we see on the screen?
This is Big Easy's show last year. The piano player there, John Denninger, was performing a song from Where the Girls Were that played at Le Petit Theater.
Okay. Now, since you have that kind of variety in your background, tell us about your becoming and being a secular person.
Well, my mother introduced us to religion as children, and she gave it a shot there, but we always felt open to choose what we wanted to be and what we wanted to follow. She never made us feel boxed in and forced in any way. So,
well, were you at some time a church-going believer?
Well, I went to churches, and I saw that people were getting something out of it, and that was nice. But I just never got it, And we did this thing called Vacation Bible School, and I remember it was a hot summer, and I went and got baptized because it was hot. And the cool water felt great. And then the next Sunday, I got baptized again.
Really?
It was great until my mother said, well, you can't do that. And I was like, well, but whatever. I just never got it, and it wasn't to be disrespectful. I mean, I just never got it.
Well, some of the secular groups around the country are holding something they're calling debaptismal services, and they unbaptize you. When it's kind of a silly thing to do, but it's just saying the getting baptized in the first place was a silly thing to do. Well, what else? You know what? So then you became a teenager and an adult who was a non-believer. How does that affect your life?
Well, I'm open to all things, and a lot of times, if I have something interesting to tell somebody, I talk, and let them pull out of what I said that they find important. When people talk about what they believe in, I kind of do the same thing. There's some pretty things in religions, some peaceful things, I just like to let people be themselves, and I can respect, their view on things and such. It just don't want it forced on me or to make me feel wrong or, judged because I don't believe the same way. I just think there's room for everyone at the table,
All right. Well, you take a position of acceptance of what people might want to believe. However, the really dedicated Christian people, not just Christian, the really dedicated religious people, do not believe that we should have the same right, or that it can even be justified that anyone can reject the idea of their God, whichever God it might be. So, how do you react to people who say, you're wrong and you're going to go to hell or whatever else?
Well, two wrongs don't make it right, I mean, I'm not going to throw stones at what they do, and I would hope they won't throw stones at me. I can't say that I don't enjoy going to a religious service. I've been to churches. It's peaceful, enjoyable. I like to talk to people in different circles. But do I leave with those things in me and they're going to change my life and make me believe differently? No. I just can go and have a nice time, respect what happened there, and to say, well, I learned something different from other folks, Well, it doesn't change me inside.
Yeah, you are not that different from a lot of people who go to church services on Sunday, who go there for the music and to be with friends, people that they like, and to take their children, and do not necessarily even believe in God. Church services in large number are social events, and that is why we, as the New Orleans Secular Humanist Association, want to try to provide the same kind of experience for non-religious people, some place where they can come, be among like-minded people. And we don't have sermons, but we have monthly meetings, and we have a speaker on some topic that would be of interest to us. And our group also has twice a month social events, meeting at some bar room, and just to be with people who are not going to criticize us for not believing the way they believe. Well, we still have some time to talk about what life is like when we're non-religious, and I just want to open it up for any one of you who wants to add to what we're saying.
Well, I'm very happy to actually have a community. Really, it's like with NOSHA. Like I went to one of the meetings recently, or the meetups anyway, and it was just so nice to be around people who just felt like I did. And I mean, I didn't feel alone for once, and that was so nice. I mean, it's so hard whenever. I mean, it is viewed as it's a very negative thing in society.
It's partly why I enjoy being a part of NOSHA, is because it's a peaceful place to be. You don't feel judged.
Yeah, it's very friendly,
and
too.
It's not radical, and people like to put labels on not being religious. Believe me, it's just people being themselves.
Well, which leads me to mention some billboard campaigns. Last year, our organization sponsored and paid for some billboards that were produced by a national organization. And it was full size on I-10, and it says, "Don't believe in God, ? You are not alone." That was the message. It didn't say, give up your religion. It just says you're not alone. There is a new billboard campaign in New Orleans that is sponsored by the Freedom from Religion Foundation, and their enormous full-size billboard on the corner of Rampart and Canal Street says simply this: "Imagine no religion." Again, this should not offend anyone.